Now then, guys, it's Phil, it's All Leeds TV, and we are back for another season of the Big Match Preview. Premier League football is back for a third season running for Leeds United, and I am joined by Chris Dalkin and one half of the Lad to Leeds podcast, the better, worse, I'm not sure which half. But
definitely the worst. Definitely the worst.
But we have Dad. Dad, I was thinking randomly, just completely off topic earlier today. Obviously,
bit early to go random.
No, I'm going straight away. My intro to you is random. So I was thinking earlier today, and I talk to my own dad and call you Dad. I've made it in a way where it's not like disrespectful. He knows who you are. He watches the show. But I was thinking, like, when you walk into the office at work, do other people call you Dad? Because I've never called you your real name, and I don't want anyone else that watches this show to know your real name.
Yeah, there's a really weird thing that every now and then, and it's lovely when it does happen, but at Ellen Road, you just hear, Dad!
Yeah.
Every now and then. And, like, you know, I ignore it and I just keep carrying on, and then it gets louder and louder, then someone will come up behind you and away you go. They're going, Dad! And I went, oh, my God! They meant me, so that is pretty weird. But, yeah, everyone calls me Dad. Everyone.
I was going to say, it must be nice feeling quite paternal towards the entire world.
I know, it is. But I'm an awful dad, unfortunately. Isn't Chris looking more and more like Ericsson
every day?
Do you know what I mean? Isn't he? You more and more. Have you working out? You look like you could have signed for Man United in the last couple of weeks, mate.
Yeah, we can't really go with that anymore. We're going to have to lose that trait because I can't be associated with.
I know. Yeah, you're going to have to go for a different look, mate. You can't carry the Ericsson look anymore.
Go full Rasmus. Just get it off.
I might do that. I might have to go for a skinhead and then,
Mate, good luck. So, welcome back to the show, gentlemen. We have an action-packed evening ahead of us where we're going to chat absolutely everything. How was your summer? What do you think of X, Y, and Z? And guys, if you're joining us late or now, just get your thoughts in as we go along. We've got plenty of shit to get through, so we'll probably be here a while. I'll start with you, Chris. How was your summer? How's it been? Have you missed us?
I have. It only feels a minute really when we're discussing our point total, and disappointed we didn't get to the magic 40 points. But I don't know what we were worried about.
Hopeful you were.
It was easy anyway. So.
Oh yeah. And obviously to perfectly counteract your undying optimism, I've got someone who's very much more like me, if not perhaps more cynical than I am. An aged Leeds fan who has
I've got all the scars
and understands cynicism to its maximum.
Yeah.
How's your summer been?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Like, it was brilliant not having to worry about Leeds at all. And even like the Raf and Calvin Phillips transfers came late on, which was great. Do you know what I mean? I was so glad it didn't like almost happen in the middle of that break. They came late on. I'm happy with that. Because you kind of saw it coming and everybody's giving it they're not going to go. You know, even I convinced myself Raf's not going to go. We've got him for another season. There's no way.
One of them.
Exactly. It was and then when it happened, you went, we were just in La La Land, weren't we? But because of that, that's gone. But it's soon ramped up. I think as soon as I stepped into Billy's bar and saw Statman at the bar buying pints, I kind of that dread came flying back in big time. But I was like, Jesus, we've got nothing good to say to each other.
Oh yeah, mate, that I love how it's the last preseason game of the summer, and it was literally already like, do you think we're going to get relegated then? Like, how bad do you think it's going to be?
Like, literally, Statman was sitting in the window ledge at Billy's bar. Like, he'd already looked like he'd cried a bit. And then I came in, look, Phil, I've just got to say to you, I've got nothing good to say. So, I mean, should we talk about something else? Because I'm not into it. But by the end of the friendly, I was kind of in. Like, Mrs. Statman and Lad got the picture taken with Thurpo, which was comedy because Lad just like walked away from it and went, God, if he knew what I'd said about him last season. And it was
last season.
It was fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But here we go.
Yeah, mate. There's plenty to get into. I know there's the first bit I've got on my running order is news and gripes, which I think that's a section for you and you alone for you to vent. But I'm really happy that I have got, and I think most people this week are going to be talking about pretty much the same things, but I've got a weird split of, I've got one person to this side of me, that side. Where are you? Chris, here. There.
Yeah.
I can't see the point.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Chris is a rare breed that doesn't hate this kit. He actually quite likes it.
No, he's not a rare breed at all. He's not a rare breed.
No, you two are the rarity. Right, so I'm the only person that's going to have to get a gripe out in this then. So we'll start with the kit. The home kit, okay, nothing needs to be said. We move on. The away kit. Dad, I'll let you go put your pledge out first. Why is it any good? Because it's not.
Why isn't it any good? It's
embarrassing Leeds kit I have.
It really isn't. I refer you back to that horrific black thing with the stripes down it that were kind of like greeny orange. There you go. It's like beauty is in the eye of a beholder, and I'm telling you now, that strip, I saw it and I went, I'm in. I like it. You've got to evolve, and I just thought I love a bit of tie dye. I was bang into it. It's either tie dye. It reminds me of you remember the Hydro t-shirts that you used to just grab, and it'd warm up there, and you'd make it look like you had boobs. Do you remember those? Am I too old? I think I'm probably too old. But it reminded me. I liked it. I thought it's retro. I like. I like the color of yellow. I'm all right. And today, Joe Wayman bought it.
The wrong yellow.
Joe Wayman bought it. He was straight in. He was queuing up for it, and I followed his thread as he went through. And I thought he's going to open it up, and I bet he hates it. But no, he put it on, and he went, "Hey, I love this." And I went, "Do you know what? We're all going to be like that. Once we're wearing it, we're going to be happy."
Mate, Joe Wayman thinks we're qualifying for Europe every season. Like, just because he says it doesn't make it right.
We need people like that. But I'm into the strip. I'm there. I think, why moan?
Joe to bits, but neither you nor him are a ringing endorsement for this kit. Chris, you try and convince me otherwise. You're going to fail because it's bad. But I'll let you go anyway.
I don't love it. I'm not thinking it's the best thing I've ever seen. But we've had a hell of a lot worse kits than that, and everyone wants a yellow kit. We've got a yellow kit. It's come on. You don't need to just have a plain yellow kit. You can have a bit of difference. It divides opinion.
Yellow. That's not Leeds United yellow. I don't even know what it is.
It's not Leeds United yellow, but it's yellow. And I also think, Chris, I don't know if you feel the same. It means we're teeing up a banger of a third kit.
Mate,
I think it's teeing up a banger.
Fingers crossed. Look, I'll be honest, and I think I represent the bigger portion of our fan base that don't like it. I don't like this kit. I think it is an absolute shambles of a football kit. Like, I genuinely prefer the Corma Gold version from the Championship years. Like, this it's so bad, man.
When you see it in person, you'll like it.
Maybe I will, but at this moment in time, everything I've seen of it, other than the little block of blue cheese that's got the SBO top put on that's the only thing I've enjoyed and put a smile on my face. I actually find it so bad that it's laughable. It's a fucking terrible kit. And the fact that it's available to buy before the home kit.
Well, that's a bit of a shambles, but we'll get on to the shamblesness of the start of the season.
There's all kinds of the Adidas thing in general this summer has been a bit shy, and I am hoping they are trying to wheel out a really impressive third kit. I liked I wasn't originally a fan of the first season third strip, the burgundy one, but that and last year's away kit, the blue one, I like that kind of style. It's grown on me. If they can put out a third kit that's maybe like a blue, like a lighter blue, but not the Calvin Phillips blue.
I think they're going to have to. I think they're going to have to bring out a third because
they go. Yeah, they will.
If you think about who when you've got to change kits, it's obviously going to be predominantly someone who's got white very much in their kit, and I think that kit will clash with a few. So I think I like it. I think I'm into it, but I think it tees up a beautiful third kit. It's on its way, and I love the home kit, by the way. And that's simple.
I'm happier with the home kit this season than last year. Definitely, I think they didn't need to put both the yellow and blue trim on, but I'm not complaining about the home kit. That's fine. My gripe is with the away kit at this moment in time, and I'm hoping the third will just balance it all out.
Everyone kicked off about the Parma Violet kit, and now everybody wants to buy it.
Is that just because of Brentford?
Yeah, of course it is. But everyone kicked off. We had exactly the same fuss with the Parma Violet kit, and
you'll remember it for the games, right?
And now it's iconic.
Yeah. So, Dad, I'm going to let you have the stage here. You wanted to air your gripes on the ticketing situation over the summer. A lot of publicity, anyway, has come out of Leeds about this new system and how it all works and how it's meant to make everything so much easier. I just want to caveat straight away: there was a queue at the Cop that made people get in 20 minutes late to the Cagliari friendly. People couldn't get into the friendly, for fuck's sake, and that wasn't even a 30k crowd. So it isn't quite as perfect as we've been led to believe. But you've got far more to say about it, so I'll let you.
Well, like the queues, like myself, Lad, and Mrs. Statman got in okay. And there were queues there, but I mean, I honestly don't know if it was any worse for the match day for my experience of getting in, and I don't understand why it would be, because at the end of the day, it's always been a digital system. We just had physical tickets to put in. Now it's just your phone, and even people were printing it off. So I'm not really going down. I don't know if that's just a bit of negative hype around it. I'm sure there were queues and people were late, but people were watching the footy in the fan zone outside. So that might have led to it. But guys, it's an absolute shambles from the membership buying for the frustration of still not getting a phone call about a season ticket, and over half the stadium is still available to buy tickets for. I just. I mean, look, my experience where I'm really, really frustrated is, you buy this priority membership, and then out of nowhere, there becomes a priority plus membership. I don't even understand how the hell you got that. You just ripped me off for the full price, and somewhere along the line, out of me paying for, it's just me and Lad, luckily, there'll be people buying loads more memberships. All of a sudden, there's a priority plus.
What level of membership are you the 50 quid one, or are you the 70?
I'm a 70. I went in. I'm going, no, I haven't got a season ticket, but I want to live like I've got a season ticket. So this membership one, but then there's this secret plus thing that's going down, and I'm like going, what's going on? And do you know what's even more depressing? Side note: when you actually go check in on where you are in the queue for a season ticket, and it doesn't give you a number, but it says this application is valid until the next century. Do you know what I mean? And you just go, how long am I going to? It's about 10 a waiting list going to be. But seriously, the big thing is this new web
on the waiting list as well.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I'm there. Do you know what's really depressing? It's honestly, I feel it, and it was when I got onto that website, and I'm queuing for Wolves tickets. I've finally got through. I'm not priority plus. I've dealt with that trauma. So I'm just, the bog standard 75 quid, the bog standard 75 quid member. I mean, that's ridiculous. Right. And then I'm there, I queue for half an hour. And by the way, I'm in a work meeting at the time, trying to pretend I'm interested in what's going on around me. And I'm not. I'm just watching this thing count down. I'm thinking, right, please South Stand, please Cop. I just want one of you. Anyway, get through after half an hour. Brilliant. Allows me to buy tickets in the Cop. I'm on a winner. And I'm literally choosing these two great seats at end of a row. I love an end of a rower. Great seats in the middle of the Cop. Click on 2. And this error message just keeps popping up where you add to basket saying the allocation of tickets for this period of sale has now been reached. Please remove a ticket from your basket and proceed to complete your booking. I haven't even added in. And this went on. No matter where I went around the stadium. I went around the whole frigging thing, right? The whole thing, clicking, adding. No, you can't do it. Same message coming up over and over again, to point when it just became not available. It just said not available. And I'm going, what the fuck? is going on. I am fuming. This meeting's still going on around me. You know what I mean? And I'm like absolutely raging. It's a joke. I've complained. I've said, what's going on? I've got in there. It was, have I gone? Have we gone? I've been thrown out. Oh, did I get thrown out? Thrown out. Did you get thrown out? Did you? Who got thrown out then? Why did it throw you out? Is it just?
I threw me and Chris out. I thought you needed the stage to yourself.
Oh, I mean, I did need a bit of space, but I haven't heard a thing. Has anyone tried ringing the ticket office? Like, I know it's a bit of an old school thing to do, but has anyone ever rang that ticket office and spoke to a human being?
Fucking ring a ticket office in.
I mean, but that is how desperate I was. Absolute shambles, and yet my money once again is in a bank account there, and I can't even. The benefits are non-existent. Monday, Chelsea tickets go on sale. I think they went on sale to those Priority Plus knobheads. I don't know how you become a Priority Plus knobhead, but they are knobheads. Apologies if you are one, but you're knobheads to me because I don't know how I didn't become one. So I'm buying tickets on Chelsea. Phil, you and me have done this hookup thing now, right? So hopefully we can just both go in and hopefully one of us will buy tickets.
Yeah, good luck.
But what is going on? Like, why is it stressful enough being a member? It's stressful enough. I want to be a season ticket. Why make it even worse? It's
Chris,
awful.
Are you a 50 or a 75?
I'm 75 as well, so a bit frustrated. But I mean, I'm there tomorrow. I've got 2 tickets. I think they're in the middle of the cop, so I might have...
You've got my 2 tickets.
No, I didn't try for tomorrow. I can't attend tomorrow. I'll be in the queue on Monday for Chelsea.
Oh man, what does anyone know what's going on? I've put it out on Twitter. I never had a reply.
You've got see. I went for the 50 quid membership because the difference between that and the 75 is absolutely nothing. There is no difference apart from you paying.
No, there is. There's something. There's something I'm getting for free somewhere. It's a little tick thing. There was Phil, your mic. I think your mic's gone off. Phil, you've got off. Get your mic. If you're going to rant, you need a mic by you.
Hold on.
Probably right, guys. There's probably not much. I feel like I'm lucky enough I can afford it for me and lad. And I'm thinking, I'm in plus. I'll be a plus member. I'll always be looked after better. Then these priority knobheads come from nowhere. Who are these people?
Yeah,
who are the priorities?
Yeah, so I'll be honest. I've looked through the differences. They are so minimal. There is genuinely no point in buying the 75 quid one. I got the 51, and yeah, I had the same problem as you. Couldn't get tickets for the last game. Try get tickets for Chelsea and see what happens, but it does seem like a lot more difficult. I mean, generally speaking, this new system was meant to make everything easier, and it just seems like it's made everything a lot harder. So that's one thing that's happened over the summer. We've got quite a lot of
Neil Warnock. Is Neil Warnock running our ticketing system now? That's what I feel. I think he's retired from football and he's running our ticketing system.
Just here to piss off Leeds fans for an eternity.
It's a joke. Exactly, it's a joke. Please help. Anyone who can help me help.
Yeah, if there is anyone watching, whether this be live or afterwards, and you want to reach out to Dad and give him
some what went wrong? That's all I want to know. What went wrong? How come those tickets wouldn't go in my basket?
Anyone that works in IT that can offer technical support, or anyone that works in like talking therapies to help Dad deal with around this, we could probably do it. We're going to move on because we've done 20 minutes and not got anywhere. Also, this summer there's been a lot of.
Sorry, it's my marching on together bottle opener. Do you know what I got that from? Do you know what I got that from?
Membership.
My membership. I got that from a membership.
That's what your 25 quid extra buys you.
You got a pack of cards as well.
Marching on together, eh, lads? I can't go to any games. Jesus.
You can sit and listen to it in your living room now.
Apologies. I feel like I've ranted and taken over. I'm sorry.
So this summer, there's also been a pre-season that we need to touch on. There's also been a transfer window we need to touch on. And I think we need to sort of update where we all stand on how things are. Because, look, things are different in terms of the last time we did a big match preview, I was sat here going, well, we're going down. Dad was sat here thinking maybe, just maybe, but really you thought we were going down. And Chris, for some reason, the whole way through thought we were staying up by about 12 points.
And here
In the end, you were the closest to being right. But do you feel smug, Chris? Do you feel like you got it all worked out?
No, because I didn't expect it to go so close to the line. I mean, yeah, looking back at the games last season, there was not many sort of clear wins. It all happened in the 90th minute. It was all very close to the wire. Yeah, Brighton, Brentford, and it could have easily gone the other way. So, yeah, I didn't expect that, and I'm hoping we'd have more of the same this season.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that this season and last season are going to be anything similar, or do you think that? Do you feel a lot more confident now? And bearing in mind, you were confident. Like, do you feel more confident now than you were a few months ago going into the Brentford game?
I mean, I don't feel more confident that we're going to have a great season. I don't fear relegation. I think we have strength in the team. We've kind of got maybe 5 or 6 players that can slot straight into the team. We've lost our 2 best players. I'm not going to say we've strengthened our midfield, because I'd still rather have Phillips, and now I'd still rather have Rafinha. But
of course.
I
think obviously, go.
I think if you look back at some of the midfields that we played with kind of last year, and I think I was sort of sending you some of the screens earlier when we're playing with Tyler Roberts, Rodrigo, and Click in the middle. I don't think we're going to be that dire this season.
Yeah, we're going to get onto this, just so you're aware. Like, we're going to do predicted lineups as we always do ahead of what we think they're going to put out tomorrow. But then we're also going to sort of look at that lineup and go, well, this is the size of the injury list. Who is our genuine, like, strongest 11 now? So we will get to that. But question for both of you, it's just come in. Sorry, Dad, I know that covers your face, but I'm going to come to you when I'm taking it. Obviously, there's been a few interviews that have gone out today. The Square Ball in the last hour have put one out with Angus Kinnear as well, so I'm going to listen to that after this show. I haven't had time yet. But the Radrizzani one, obviously, most people will have heard bits of it by now, and this is a really good question from Nige. And obviously, I think some of the things that we've kind of touched on in that interview, and we've touched on already since, and we're going to keep touching on it, is kind of why that is that. We were meant to be aiming for Europe this season. We were meant to be extending the stadium this summer. There's loads of things that were meant to happen, just haven't happened yet. So what is the position and why? And I think Bielsa going is a huge part of that. So, Dad, I'm going to come to you first. What have you heard? Have you heard the Rad's interview, and what did you make of everything he said?
Yeah, I actually am at ease with a lot of what he said.
Yeah,
I think there's some great points that were said there, and about we're not up to speed, but that is because I think it totally comes down to a horrific recruitment season last year. It was absolutely awful from start to finish. We for whatever the reasons were, it was awful. Whether it was Bielsa and Water not matching on who they should have signed in, it was a disaster.
Yeah,
and that was the moment we should have pushed forward. Where I still don't think. I think it's realistic to say, even if we had him a great season last year, and we wouldn't be in Europe. Challenging for Europe this year at all. No. I think the Premier League has just gone. Those teams that are top 6 are just way ahead of us right now, and I do believe one day we'll get there. I think the big one was about the money and what we're spending, and the lad who went off to AC Milan. Everyone all of a sudden goes, well, we've obviously got the money to go in for them. We outbid AC Milan, but I think you really need to look at that and go, And I like this about Rads. He will put the money in to go get Bielsa.
Yeah.
He will put the money in like he did at the time. Remember, to get Bamford.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. He will put the money in to buy back the stadium. And he's a businessman, and he gets a lot of jip for that. But he invests when it really matters. And I think getting that lad, he's obviously a really special talent. And if we'd got him, it would have been unbelievable. But, I don't want to go out and pay that for Che Adams.
No. Look,
and I think the Leeds fan base needs probably. This may be controversial, lads, but you need to give Rads a break. We didn't have a stadium until Rads came back. He invested.
He still played in it.
He went and got us Marcelo Bielsa.
Yeah, it can have that.
And look, no, but his decisions have generally moved his club so far forward, and his investment.
Look, there's no beef with Rads. Look, there's been good decisions and bad decisions the whole way through his era. Like there is still Badgegate, there is still Myanmar, there is still quite a few things that haven't gone well. But look, let's be honest.
But he's recovered at the time. He's recovered at the time.
Yeah, of course. Where we were when he came in, we're not that club anymore. We're a massive club, and look, I think he's given Leeds fans something back that we haven't had for a long time, which is hope, optimism, being able to look to the future and go, this is where I want our club to be. And I think the only thing
our club survived the pandemic. Our club survived and got through.
Yeah.
You know, that's huge. Yeah, that's actually quite huge. When you see what we achieved through that, yes, we've got an amazing fan base that would support the club to get through that. So we've had some previous owners who would have fell apart during that pandemic.
We have about the last 4 before Radrizzani all would have fallen to pieces. But
so I thought his interview was. I thought his interview was great, and I'm taken away from big time.
I liked a lot of the things that were said. I think in terms of if the money was there to go and buy De Ketelaere for 40 million quid, I'm not saying go spend 40 million quid on Che Adams. That's not what I'm saying. But at the same time, you identified someone to come in as a striker, which means we clearly need a striker. I don't wait till the last day of the window and see if something pops up. It's no, if we need a striker, go fucking get one. And Che Adams, for me, is someone I've said all summer is the person I think we should sign. For me, I'd say 10 to 15 million pounds does that. And I would actually use the rest of that 40 million pounds to go and buy a proper left back. And that's not me being a dickhead to Junior Fairpair. Whether you're fit or you're not a starting left back for me. Nope. And even if he is going to start, which they have a lot of faith in him clearly to do, we could bring in someone that genuinely gives him some sort of competition, because you've got rid of Leif Davis. Dallas is broken till Christmas at least. Who else is going to... Pascal ideally wants to play centre-back. I know he can rival him. He's going to fill in for him at left-back now, but realistically, we need a proper left-back. Go spend 25 million quid on a real left-back and get me a 15 million pound striker to sit on the bench and replace Bamford when Bamford's injured.
Left-back and striker have been the curse of Leeds for years. It's just
and
something
like with what Radrizzani said and the money and stuff. Like, people have to bear in mind, we have sold Rafinha, we have sold Calvin Phillips. Whatever you think of those transfer fees is irrelevant. But what has come into this club is about £100 million, and we've bought 6-7 new faces in, and we've spent £100 million. So in terms of net spend and investment in this team this summer, there's been fuck all. Let's be honest. That's the way that I'm looking at this. I don't care if you tell me you've spent 100 million quid. You haven't spent 100 million quid. You've reinvested the money that we've got from selling our 2 best players. So I don't buy this whole investment. And where the only thing
last year as well.
Exactly. And the only thing so far that I'm going to sit here and say that I've heard from the interviews today that I agree with is that from Jesse Marsh's pre-match press conference and from Radrizzani, we are in a stronger position now than we were at the end of last season, because they've had time to adapt to Marsh's system. Marsh has said himself now that football at the end of this last season wasn't his football. This is his football now. We've got a team that will suit that system. We've got a team that knows how to play, and that's where we're stronger. But in terms of have we invested in the team properly? Not yet. We haven't, no. So that's why I'm not really fully.
Did he say that, though? Did he go, what I've done's brilliant? I never caught anything. I never caught him making those statements, Look, I haven't got an agenda with him. If I had I stressed I had hair last year. I don't anymore, and it's like, I just didn't hear him. I think sometimes with these interviews, people will actually, fill in gaps that aren't there, and they take away from things sometimes and manipulate it to attack. And I don't think he actually said anything in that interview that would make me go, "Oh, he's really missed the mark there."
No, I don't think he has.
I think they know they didn't. They had the worst recruitment year last year. They know that.
They know. Yeah, I think they know they dropped the ball. Chris, what did you make of the interviews that you've heard so far, and how are you feeling about the readiness in terms of what has been invested, and what do you still think's needed?
Yeah, I think my biggest concern is I don't know how the 50-50 ownership's been going to work, because for the last couple of years it's been shares being sold left, right and centre, and now that's kind of stopped because they're at the 50-50 mark or there or thereabouts. And I don't know if Radrizzani wants to stay there for the long term or whether he's looking for the next opportunity to sell.
His exact words in this interview actually today, his exact words were, I'm going to wait until we're in Europe and then I'm off.
Yeah.
That was his words in that interview.
So, but to do that, he's going to need to spend a bit more. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. I know he hasn't spent more than the money that's come in. I guess he's brought 6 first-team players in that are going to be on the sort of wages that Phillips and Rafinha were on. So I guess from a wage bill perspective, it's gone up quite dramatically. But I still think we're at least 2 players short. I don't think you'll find many people that are going to say they're happy with the squad and we've got squad depth because, like you say, we are a few injuries away from a bit of a crisis again.
Yeah. So in terms of, we'll go transfer window first and then we'll move on to pre-season. But if I forget anyone, feel free to throw them in and let me know. Yeah. So the two main people that have gone are obviously Calvin and Rafinha. We've also got rid of Leif Davis has gone on a permanent to Ipswich. Kiko finally is gone. Wonderful, but we might be able to replace him with Kiko version 2. We'll see. We'll get onto that in a minute. The only other ones that have really gone are basically nobodies like Lawrence de Bock, or people that have gone on loan, different types of loan. Obviously, we are probably going to talk a lot, I imagine, about Charlie Cresswell and whether he should or shouldn't have gone. But Charlie Cresswell and Jamie Shackleton both gone to Millwall. They are not staying there. They're both coming back, we believe. Shackleton might go back out somewhere else, but Cresswell won't go anywhere else after that, I don't think. Roberts obviously gone to QPR. He's not coming back, let's be honest. And Lewis Bate has now gone on loan to Oxford, but he should be coming back. So that's the outgoings. I don't think I've forgot anyone, but if I have, let me know.
I don't think so, mate.
Incomings, the 2 that me and Oscar have been really fucking smug about on our shows for the last few weeks, Mark Rocker and Tyler Adams. We predicted that we'd sign them about 1.5 years ago on our transfer shows. So really smug about that.
I haven't heard you mention that actually, though.
No, I don't tend to talk about it very often. I've even reshared the video 3 times on our Twitter, just in case you haven't watched it. But I called it. So yeah, we brought them 2 in. Obviously, Brendan Aronson was the first. That was basically confirmed as soon as we stayed up. Since then, we've had Lewis Sinistera, who is now injured. So a proper Leeds United signing. Christensen at right back. I don't know whether we're calling him Darko Giabi or JB. What I've heard the square baller saying it's JB because he said that, but I still want to call him Giabi. So we'll just see. And obviously we've had Sonny Perkins come in, and now today we're being told that it's Joel Robles, the new goalkeeper. That's the new keeper that's meant to be signing permanent next week, and he's going to come in to rival Klaassen as second choice, but he's basically a third choice goalkeeper. For me, I'm just happy it wasn't Ben Foster. I'll be honest. If we'd have signed Foster, I'd have been fucking fuming. I don't want to
sign. That's a PR sign.
Yeah, so Robles, it makes very little difference to me. Is Spanish goalkeeper who's probably not going to get many minutes. So, yeah, do either of you give a shit?
No, really. He's not going to play. But I agree. We need someone with a bit of experience. So if he fits that mold, then why not?
Exactly. Fine. Whatever. But in terms of, obviously, we've already touched on it. What's still needed? The 2 main obvious things. We need a fucking striker and we need a left back. Which one do you 2 think is more pressing? Dad, what do you want more, left back or striker?
Left back, without doubt. Yeah. And look, I know we'll probably get onto it, but I find it absolutely crazy after last year how we'd let Cresswell go, and that isn't necessarily because of the talent of Cresswell, which I think is a massive influence, but how many times did that back 4 change? And all we've done is let one go. We haven't brought someone in, and we don't have a left back. I find it a nuts decision to leave ourselves that short. I bet lo and behold, Cooper's not available this weekend, right? And straight away, Matt,
the most physical centre back we had at the club.
Look, the guy's Chris Hemsworth. You know what I mean? He is like, every man and woman in the world's going to love that kid. And, I find it an unbelievable decision we would let him go without bringing someone in. Just because of last year alone. I don't know how Orta can figure that one out, especially when we're short on a left back. And I'm sorry, Strike on Sunday. It was, do you know what his best moments were? When he was up with Harrison, like in offensive, because we didn't know how to handle Harrison basically, and he was just pinging it about to Harrison. We're getting it off Harrison. Defensively at left back, he's all over the place. The lad's going to get done in the Premier League. He is not a great answer. So I think that back four.
I think he's a better defending left back than Firpo, and going forward, he's not that different.
Well, look, I mean, if we're going to start like comparing people to Firpo, we might as well just don't play with the defense. Do you know what I mean? Just don't do it. Just go sack it. We're going to concede 10 each game. Let's try and score 20.
Chris, what would you rather have, a left back or striker? What's more important to you?
I think we need both, to be honest. But I'd probably say a striker, just because I don't want to see Dan James up there again. I kind of don't see as a team that is going to be solid at the back and grind out 1-0 wins.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of more go with the approach of let's try and.
I like that. That's actually bang on the money. That we are not a team that's going to grind out 1-0 wins this season. That's not how we stay up.
We've never grinded out a 1-0.
Like win, it's very Bielsa, that Chris. I like it. It's very Bielsa. I like it.
Still go with the same philosophy, but I just think if Bamford gets injured, I think Joffrey can get injured, and I don't want to see the same things repeated over and over again.
Yeah,
but we need both.
It is very possible this season could smell and taste like a hell lot of deja vu the whole way through. I've got that awful feeling already. But Chris, I've noticed there's a new image behind your left shoulder that wasn't there at the end of last season. What have you got here? What's this new picture you've got? Because I'm seeing a number 23. Are you already out of date?
A number 23? No, well, that is Calvin's number, to be fair. But no, that's been there. But it's just maybe the angle I'm sat at.
All right.
I love that picture. I love that picture.
A Calvin tribute shirt or something.
It is Calvin Phillips, a couple of old shirts looking over at Ellen Road. But I'm covering the Bielsa with my head. So
I know, same. There he is.
So we don't get too many comments about Bielsa and.
Mate, he's literally in the bottom corner of the video anyway. Like, it's fine. Come on, then. We're going to move on to predictions for the season. And I'm going to include literally everyone, not just Leeds. I mean, by all means, guys, if you're in the chat and you want to let us know your opinions, your thoughts, get them in. I'll try and flash them up. I want to. Oh, someone just put Costa's also gone. Has Costa gone?
I've heard that. Breaking news, Dan.
I did say that. Yeah, was it a loan or permanent? I'm not sure, but yeah, I did see something on Twitter earlier.
Oh, good. I mean, I'm not sad about it. It's great. I had no idea. I've been real
either.
But yeah, Costa. There's still the obvious rumours about Click maybe leaving, which Marsh has kind of started them. But
I feel so sad about that. You know, I feel so sad. I really do. But fair play. He wants to play for Poland, right?
Oh, apparently he's gone to a Saudi
team. Oh well. There you go.
Did we go? That's in the no source.
Did we get 40 million for him?
In it, we should have rinsed that.
Yeah, we should have done Saudi tax on that. Let's go.
But yeah, guys, predictions in the comments, guys. If you want to play along, I just want you to tell me where you think Leeds are going to finish. Not necessarily the position, but like give me a bracket, the highest position you think we can finish and the lowest. So I want your glass ceiling and your through the floor. That's the prediction I want in. But for you two guys, and I sent you mine earlier, but we'll discuss them anyway. I want you to give me the table from 1 to 20. You don't necessarily have to go position by position, but tell me top 4. Are you saying it's going to be City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs, whoever? Give me your top 4. Give me the 2 teams that finish in the Europa League. Give me the team that scrapes into the Conference League, and then tell me who you think's going to finish like 8th to 10th, who's going to finish 10th to 15th, and then who's going to be in that relegation battle and who's going to go down. So we're going to start with the top 4, and if you want to tell me who wins the league in that, by all means. But Chris, who's in your top 4 this season?
So I don't think any major shots. I think the top 2 are miles ahead of everyone else. So it's going to be City and Liverpool. I'd say City I think they're going to walk it, but see how the strikers settle in, I guess. Below them, I think Tottenham are looking strong. So I think they've got the third position snapped up, and I think fourth is maybe a bit more up for grabs. I've got Arsenal there myself just because of their signings, but could equally be Chelsea.
I was going to say, not having Chelsea in the top four is a big shout, I think.
Yeah.
They've had a strange summer, haven't they? But I know they're starting to spend some money now.
Yeah. What about you, Dad? What's your top four look like?
I've got to mimic that. I think we're all crazy. Unfortunately, if you got, I would love for another club to all of it do a Leicester type.
Yeah.
I've almost like sat there, and the only people I could see doing that would be West Ham. But at the same time, I think you can't go any further. And by the way, I'm kind of with Chris. I think City are going to smash this.
Yeah,
Calvin Phillips and Haaland.
Yeah,
come on, there's Leeds right there. There.
They will piss the league. I think you've both got the top four bang on, same as me. Like I've got City to win the league, Liverpool second. I think Spurs get third, and then Chelsea for me scrape into the top four ahead of Arsenal. But it is touch and go. Who's your? I mean, it's probably a daft question. Who's your Europa League qualifiers, Dad?
I mean, you throw West Ham in straight away. Arsenal. I'd put Spurs.
You don't have Scum in the top six.
I generally think the Scum are going to have a nightmare. It's going to be fantastic. I think that's my only joy this season. And do you know what, lads? I feel quite confident about it. I really do. I feel like they're going to have an absolute nightmare, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. I think it started already with Ronaldo and Ten Hag. I think it's just going to be a beautiful drama. I wish they were doing one of those, like the Arsenal thing that's just been released.
Yeah.
I want them to really do that with the Scum this year, because that is.
Did you see Ronaldo? And then I think there was something daft like 10 or 11 senior players left the preseason friendly 10 minutes early.
It absolutely reeks of there is no control. As much as Ten Hag looks like me, I think he's got no control over that team whatsoever. I think it's potentially Man United is a bigger mess. And clip this, please, Scum fans, clip it. I think it's a bigger mess than it's ever been.
See, I actually think they've got the first proper good coach they've had since probably Fergie.
Well, look, I'm not. Ten Hag's an amazing coach. I'm not knocking him, but the club is a mess.
Oh yeah, the club's been a mess for fucking
The star player is absolutely ruining them in front of everyone. To put a tweet out saying, what was it? Is it Jesus plays Sunday? Or something like what? I don't even know. The King, it was, wasn't it? The King plays Sunday. I think, okay, that's it. They're done. They're absolutely done. And I'm lapping it up. Bring it on. I love it.
Chris, who've you got finishing in the Europa League places?
Yeah, I think. Well, Chelsea, I've got just outside the top four.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably go West Ham below them.
Oh right, so neither of you've got Scum in your top six.
Chris, why are you down on Chelsea, man? Just out of interest, why is that?
Well,
I'm all for it, by the way.
Yeah, same, mate. I love it, but I just kind of like. I really think Tuchel's great.
He's a good manager, but they're kind of making some desperation signings. I mean, they're spending a fortune on that Brighton left back, and I don't think they
had to beat off City though.
20 million quid on Chukwuemeka from Aston Villa, who's made about 10 senior appearances.
I know. I was like, who? What?
60 million on Cucurella.
Yeah, I just don't think they've got a clear plan. I think they've probably had a lot of chaos in the last couple of months with the new takeover and everything like that. But
hey, it's just splash money in it.
Yeah.
No, I think they've got an amazing manager though.
Yeah, they do.
No, yeah,
I think he I know it looks weird, but I think their manager is gonna just pull that together and make it work because I think he's that good. But anyway,
so I'm the only one with Scum in the top six. So do either of you have Scum qualifying for the Europa Conference League?
They might scrape that.
Right, okay. Dad,
if they have a good season.
Dad, are they in your top 10? Are they going down?
I've got them for 10th.
Oh, nice.
I've got them for 10th.
So who gets into the Conference League for you?
I think there's more chance of us getting in that than Man United this year. I really do. Honestly, it's even speaking to fans because you know I live over in the bad side of the Pennines, right?
Yeah.
You just get the vibe from Man United fans. It's become a joke. It's become a joke.
It's been a joke for about 7 years.
But I think it's reached the highest of the highs, and I feel for Ten Hag, man.
I have no sympathy whatsoever. I'm just
Ten Hag's a great coach.
Great coach, but he's gone to Man United. He gets fucking everything he deserves if that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So 8th, 9th, and 10th. You've already revealed that you've got a scum 10th. Who else makes up your top half, Dad?
Oh man. Now you're gonna absolutely send pelters my way for this.
Yeah.
Newcastle, I think, are a given. I think they'll be in there. I think they'll get themselves there. But by the way, just on Newcastle, I'm not buying into this. That'll be in Europe in the next couple of years. I think they'll be in that bit for a long, long time in that place. Around 10th, 7th, they'll be around there. I've got
the Conference League though.
Sorry.
7th is the Conference League. I
suppose. I mean, I'm not into that Conference League thing. Like, maybe I just need a couple more years to get excited about it. But I'm like, even last year, I was like, whatever. That just feels like I'll watch a game because I'm lonely in Dublin and in a hotel. You know what I mean? It's either that or something naughty, And but you're going to send me pelters, guys, but I think Everton are going to be there.
In the top half?
Well,
yep.
Fucking hell.
How's that happening, man?
Pelters incoming.
That is a bold claim that I don't even know if I can give you I can't even be asked giving you the time to air why you think that.
You know what? I've just got a feeling. I've just got this feeling that it's gonna ignite over at Everton. I really do.
I think you've got Everton about 10 places higher than me and Chris, because I'm fairly sure Chris has got them about the same as me.
I know. Maybe I need to slow down on the old Magnus, but I'm telling you, man.
I think you need to slow down a lot on the old
I know it's weird. I know. I was just looking at it, and I think, do you know what? There's just something that is. I think he's got something coming together there, which is ridiculous. But I think he's just hit it.
Wow, Jesus!
I know.
They haven't even signed anyone good. They've had a shit summer as well.
I know. No, I disagree. I disagree. I think they've signed well.
I think that they only stayed up because of Richarlison and.
Well, if you make that comment, you make that. But did they? Was it just because of him? I don't know if you can say that. I don't think you can say that. I think Coleman, maybe.
Wow. I don't even know where to go with it. Chris, what have you got from 8th, 9th, and 10th? Who's in there for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've certainly not got Everton. I think, Newcastle, I agree. They're going to get there thereabouts.
I think they'll live there forever, Chris. Like literally for the next 10 years.
Yeah. I think Brighton could be up there. I think Brighton are getting stronger and they've got a good manager and they're
stable, aren't they?
Why have they got stronger? They haven't got stronger. They got weaker, haven't they?
They've sold Cucurella and Bissouma, aren't they?
I think they've got weaker more than so.
I still think they are stable. I think they're a stable club.
Great manager, you're right.
Yeah. I don't think
they make signings as well. They replace the players. They seem to recruit quite well. So
yeah,
I'm sure they'll use that money. And I don't know why they're not buying strikers, but I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
one of these days.
And then who else was in there with them?
I think I've got Villa up there somewhere. Yeah. Don't want them to be up there, but I think they are going to be strong.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I've got below West Ham, who I had finishing in the Conference League. I've got Newcastle, Villa, and I don't know. I've written Leicester down, but now that I've written Leicester as 10th, I am second guessing it because they're the only team in the top 5 leagues not to have made a single signing, which is fucking mental. And obviously,
losing huge influences, right?
Yeah, Maddison, I think, will go at some stage.
Definitely going to go.
And Vardy's getting on. they're in trouble for me. I think they could finish quite low. So I'd actually be tempted to move Brighton above them. But in terms of the lower mid-table, then 10th down to 15th. And this is where I imagine people might start mentioning Leeds United. And we did have a few that came in earlier that had that sort of area. Who have you got from 10th down to 15th? And are we in that bracket, Dad?
No.
Oh, so you think this 10th to 16th is not on the cards for us?
Nope. I think 15th for us is extremely good.
Right.
For me, I'd be delighted with 15th.
We've literally got the opposite end of the scale here. I can see.
Yeah, I know, but I really am. And look, I actually find it quite hard to do this bit because I want to put Leeds above a lot of the teams, and I generally just. I'm just really. I don't want to kick too far ahead because I know we'll come on to it, but like I think we're going to have a traumatic season once again. I think we're going to mimic the one that's just gone.
Yeah.
And so look, I know I might get absolutely pelted for being a negative Nelly on this, but I just don't see the progression right now. I see. Is it regression a word? I don't even know if that's a proper word or not, man.
It's a word.
And I just kind of feel like, are we? I will even throw it in there. If I'm a Fulham fan, I'm more excited. I think Fulham can end up higher than us.
Wow.
I think if I'm Fulham, I'm thinking I'm going in. We're back. We've got this energy. The manager is one of them. He's a bit of a. He doesn't play like Mourinho, but he's very motivational like Mourinho with his players. And I kind of see Fulham flying into this. And I don't see Bournemouth doing that at all.
I really hope someone clips that bit of what you've set up. So at the end of the season,
seriously, please do and clip away.
Someone to clip up you saying Everton will finish top half and Fulham are staying up.
I think Fulham will stay up. And again, this part of the league table, I just find really traumatic because I really want Leeds to be there, but I can't. Yeah. I think it's going to be really tight. Like you have this top six who you kind of can almost bank your money on. Yeah. I think as soon as you go below 10th, I think it's game on for everyone. That is a league, a league within itself.
I think the league within itself is you've got the top six, then you've got one or two clubs that can realistically try and sneak into the Conference League. Then anything from 8th down to
I think it goes crazy.
Is anybody's money.
I think it goes crazy there, man.
So who is your 5 from 10th down to 15th? I know Leeds are in it. But...
Honestly, Phil, I saw yours and I liked how you did it. I know no one can see it. I like how you pitched. These guys will be in this area. I can't nail it down. Oh, right, but I look at Leeds,
and it's not. We're not there.
And I just go, fuck, man. Like,
I'll phrase the question a different way. I'll phrase the question a different way. So, if Leeds United, who is going to finish below us for you?
Oh, right. So I wrote this down. I knew because I think we will stay up. Yeah. I think we'll get there, and I wrote this down because I knew you'd say it. But it was really hard because I was like approaching it with negativity, but at the same time, Bournemouth. I think we're better than Bournemouth. I think Brentford we're better than them.
Right.
Southampton.
Okay.
I had them down as well. Right. So like I kind of went. I feel like we would end up above those guys, and
just those three.
Well, yeah.
So you don't see us finishing above Fulham,
Forest as well. Forest as well. I'd love.
Everton, I think we will.
Do you know what it is? I think Forest will beat us. I think Forest will get points from us because we're just twats like that. They always do. But I think we're above those guys. I think we've got 4 below us. I feel like the whole season will get beyond them.
Yeah. So, Chris, I mean, we've skipped quite a bit ahead there with Dads because I just couldn't get a fucking straight answer.
Sorry. Why not? I'm trying to be honest. I'm being honest with you, man.
But Chris, what's your 10th to 15th?
Well, I think that area of the table is a bit hard to predict. I'll probably find it easier starting from the bottom because I think there's
right.
teams
Okay,
that are clearly below us. So
we'll scrap the system. Tell me who finishes below Leeds.
This is going to be ace. This is going to be sense.
Because I think Bournemouth and Fulham. I think you've got to write them off as a bottom two.
Fulham.
I can't see how either of those two.
I'm in agreement here.
I don't know who they've signed to sort of suggest they're going to be
score a ton of goals.
Team, but
they score a ton of goals.
No, Mitrovic can't score goals in the Premier League. Never has, never will.
Yeah, he's not going to suddenly score 30 goals.
He ain't keeping them up.
So
I think them two are gone. I think Forest are going back down as well, but I think you might say they may stay up.
Well, I think Forest have got the best chances of all of them. I think they've made some good signings, and they've. I think they're with the team that plays with kind of no fear because they've not been there for a hell of a long time, and they're the ones that are just going to be excited to be there. No one's going to know what to expect.
Remember that Liverpool game? It was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they're this season's version of Brentford last season. I think if anyone is going to stay up, it will be them. But for me, I think they do go, and if they don't go, I think it'll be. If they do go, I think. Sorry, if they don't go, I think it'll be Brentford in their place.
Yeah,
and then
so I agree.
Next season.
So I think Brentford are going to be down there as well. I think Ericsson, same way as Richarlison. I think Ericsson kind of kept them up. They were losing so many games before he came in, and he just turned it around for them.
Yeah.
Too good for that team. I think they're going to be down there. I think Southampton.
Yeah.
I'm hearing they've signed a lot of young players, but are they going to settle and suddenly kind of make it? I don't know. Everton, I think, are definitely down there. I can't see how Everton are going to suddenly climb the leagues.
Right. So you've got 6 teams already here finishing below us. Keep going. I know you're going to.
We'll win the league in a minute.
Keep going.
But I think this is kind of where Leeds come into the picture because I've got kind of Wolves, Leicester, and Leeds all in a similar grouping, and they're potentially both above Leeds. But that's kind of where I see us finishing. I can't see us get any higher than 12. I think that's the ceiling for this season.
I suppose that's probably the most realistic thing I've ever heard you say. Like you've drawn a line and you've allowed yourself to not go too far, and that's good. Most of mine is the same as you. Like I've got Bournemouth, Fulham, and Forest to go back down. If not, then I think Brentford might go. I think we do finish above Everton quite clearly. I don't think it'll be close either. I think they're fucked. I think Wolves and Leicester are both in danger of having a really bad season, and we could finish above either of them. I don't think we'll finish above both. And I actually quite rate Southampton. I've got Southampton above us. I like the people they've signed, but that's just because I watch a little bit of those players anyway. So that's why I've gone for them. But I can understand. So before we move on to the next bit, I know there's just been a few questions that have come in while we're there. There's also been the under-21s that's just finished. They've won 5-2. Mateo Joseph scored 4. Sonny Perkins has scored his first goal for the under-21s on his debut.
Awesome.
Good. Where are these questions that I saw before and I was going to flash up? I'm coming to them. Don't worry. Fucking hell. You find something, you want to bring it up and then you just leave it. But I'm sure they were. Right, here we go. So first one, can we get Cresswell back if there's injuries? I don't think that we would. I think if there is injuries, even if they were all wiped out, I don't think that they would use a recall option, but I'm not sure there is one.
Crazy.
Anyway,
it's so crazy that I just really don't get that tactic.
Yeah, I think if he's there for the season, I think he's there for the season. That's kind of the way it's going to work. There was another question and I've lost it, but it can't have been that important. So sorry. I think it was something to do with who the fuck was it to do with? Cody Drammer. That's what it was. Someone saying about what is going on with Drammer. Is he here and is he staying here? From what I understand, he's not going out on loan. He will be staying with us and getting most of his minutes with the under-21s. And I think I'll find more questions.
I saw that one, Phil, and it said, will we have a player who scores more than 7 goals this season? And when you said your predictions for this season, I went totally in on Leeds.
Yeah.
And so, I kind of wrote down, okay, what are my predictions for Leeds this season? And
We're going there. Don't worry. That's fine. You bring it. That's fine.
Well, I just kind of went in like to answer Simon's question. I generally think, look, you know, if Bamford stays fit, I think he's banging in 14 goals minimum.
Okay.
I really do. He looked great on Sunday. It was beautiful. Like there was when he got that through ball from Aronson. You can't see it on the telly because I thought I'm going to be seeing it on the telly, but I just knew. I saw him running to it, and you could just see in his eyes.
Yeah,
he's back. He looked fit. He looked hungry, and I was like, he's putting this in, and my arms were up celebrating before he'd even got in the box. Because I just knew you could just see he was in there. He looked strong, and I think Rodrigo will actually get in double figures this year.
Clip that.
No, to answer Simon's question, I do. I think those two.
What
are
other predictions did you make about Leeds then?
Okay, this is. I mean, I kind of went in positive, and the first one is we'll be in a relegation battle, and you might go, "Ooh, that's negative," but I think we'll stay up because of what you just mentioned before. Yeah, I think Christiansen will get Player of the Season. Like I say, I think Bamford will get 14 goals minimum, and Rodrigo will get into double figures. And I think we'll have some real great Geldhart limbs.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll score out, but I think he'll be involved in some. You can just see, like, seeing his interview when he signed that contract was brilliant. You can just see the lad so hungry to go. Yeah. I think both Click and Harrison will leave. I think if it's not now, I think Harrison will leave mid-season. I think he'll go in January. I think we've got to expect Liverpool and City batterings. I think they're going to tear us apart.
Yeah.
And I also, from a negative point of view, think Aronson, Adams, and Rocker will both receive 3-game bans this season because I think they'll get straight reds. Yeah. I think they're going to get caught out with the pace, and they're all or nothing, those lads. And I think they're going to end up doing something silly that gets them a red card. And here's one for you guys. Charlie Cresswell, I think he'll get in the championship 11 of the season.
Yeah.
And I think Marsh will not be our manager by March.
Fair enough. I can see quite a few of those coming to fruition. But Chris, what I'll ask you out of those, first of all, I want to know your top scorer for Leeds this season, your player of the season, which Dad did, and young player of the season. They're the 3 awards. I want to know who wins those for you.
Yes, I don't think there's going to be any shocks for these answers. I think Bamford, if he's fit, he's going to be the top scorer. He's got the spot nailed down. We've not brought in another striker. I don't think we're going to bring anyone else that's going to challenge him. Even if Adams comes in, he's going to be a backup. And
yeah,
I can't. As I said, I can't understand why he would want to come if he knows he's just his backup that is going to be a last-minute decision.
Lad said that, Chris. I think that's a great point.
Yeah, I think we either go for him and say you're going to be part of our plans, or you're not. Yeah. I suppose we've been speaking about him for the last 18 months or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully Bamford stays fit. Young player of the season. A bit boring, but I think it's Joffy's kind of breakout year. He's got to take it to the next level. Every time he's played, he's done something. He's rarely had a bad game, and given the way the squad is, he's going to get minutes.
Yeah. And then your player of the season.
Player of the season. I think Aronson's going to be a good fit. I think he's going to kind of hopefully link it all together. I don't quite know where he fits or who he's like, but he just seems like he's going to provide assists. He's got the energy, and I just think he's going to be our sort of link-up player.
Do you know, I want to put this to you, Phil, because like you were working on Sunday, and on Aronson, he looked great.
Yeah.
But like when you were doing, when you saw how he played, I was behind the cop. I couldn't really get much of a grip. You could see him running, and by the way, I think Adams looked great. He intercepted a lot, but we've got to look at your opposition at the same time. I just think there's going to be a lot of, and I said it, I think there's going to be red cards thrown out for those boys, because I think the Premier League is just such a different level, and they're all or nothing lads. They really are.
It's natural with the style of play, mate. We're going to close people down 24/7. You're not going to be able to time every tackle. There will be red cards. It's simple as that.
Yeah. And but on Harrison, do you think it was beautiful? What was it? A hat trick of assists on Sunday? What do you reckon? His Premier League experience, year one. I would love to see him in a Bielsa team, but in this team, I'm kind of going, I think he's going to struggle. He was like on the right side of the centre, right?
No, I'll be honest. I actually feel the opposite. I would have loved to have seen him in a Bielsa system, but I think out of everybody that will adapt to the Marsh way of playing, he kind of has a head start on everybody in terms that he's had the most experience, and maybe Tyler Adams as well, but they've had the most experience in this system, so they can genuinely teach it to all the other players. I think because obviously John's put here Sinistera to be player of the season, I think this is a really important point. Sinistera will come in and play on whether it be the right or the left, but he's going to play on a wing. I reckon Harrison will play on the other. For me, Aronson is only covering that right wing slot now, and obviously we're going to get onto this strongest lineup thing very quickly anyway. But for me, Aronson will take that 10 position. Rodrigo, for me, won't get as many minutes when everyone's fit. I think as a 10, or at least in this system, I think Aronson is the perfect player. So for me, I can foresee like a little bit of, there's that first season that all new signings have, like people thought Drogba was shit, people thought Henry was shit, and second season obviously they like boomed into life. I don't think it's going to be like that with some of our signings, because a lot of our signings this summer have been strictly to suit this system. So it's not like they're coming in cold. They're basically playing something that they've already played before. And the thing that people usually struggle to adapt to in the Premier League is the physicality or the gamesmanship these days anyway. But these things aren't strangers to these players. So I don't think it is going to be a difficult adaptation for quite a lot of the signings. I think someone like Giarbi, for example, I think he might struggle to adapt to first team football anyway. I think he will get more minutes in the 21s, and I think that's right. But for me, the actual senior footballers that we've signed this summer, I actually have quite high hopes for pretty much all of them. I'm quite happy with the business we've done. I just think there should be more. But I want to move on to Wolves, because obviously we are an hour and 6 minutes in, and it's a big preview for Wolves and haven't spoken about them. So I'll start with Marsh's press conference from yesterday, and the main things that I've brought out of it is that huge injury list that he went through. So, and I'm if you haven't already, obviously I've put the blog out. That's on our Twitter page, so go and have a look at that. There's team news in there, predicted lineups, loads of stats, and all the stuff to tell you about Wolves and us. But the injury news was sort of staggered in terms of who is at where and what time. But you've got quite a long injury list. And that's where we're going to get into our predicted lineup and then a strongest lineup that comes from that. But we've got people that Dan James, for example, is missing tomorrow because of the third game of that suspension. He's played with the under-21s tonight. He is back in contention for Southampton. Whether he plays or not is a different question, which I'm sure we'll all answer at some point. But we've got players that are missing for another week. So we believe Liam Cooper, Luis Sinistera, and who was the other one? There was one more person that was meant to be back next week.
I remember Forshaw was written off, and there's quite...
definitely back next week. We've
Cooper.
We've got for 2 or 3 weeks anyway. There's going to be Adam Forshaw, Luke Ayling, and Junior Firpo. They're back in 2 to 3 weeks, and then we've got Van der Heuvel and Stuart Dallas, who are both basically out till Christmas.
Out of it.
I'm sure there's one more that I've missed in there somewhere, but
it's not Cooper. I think Cooper was a big one, wasn't it? That was the opener where he went, he's not there.
Yeah, but it's a big injury list to start with. So with that in mind, obviously, I think it makes quite an easy prediction for the lineup in terms of, I think it'll just be what we saw at Cagliari, to be honest. But, I'm getting you both nodding. I'm just going to get you to say, is it the same lineup as we saw last week, Dad?
Yes.
Bang on. Nothing changes.
Nope.
Chris?
Yeah, there's not a lot you can do to it for the first game. So yeah, exactly the same, I'll say.
Yeah. So we will obviously talk about Wolves. I am coming to it, but just while we're on the lineup, I'm going to go through position by position and ask you the strongest lineup from everyone that we've signed this summer, all the new players. Who would you want to see if everyone is fully fit? I don't think the goalkeeper really needs discussing. Are we all going Meslier?
Yeah.
At right back, are we all going Rasmus Christensen?
100%.
Yeah.
Right.
He looked fantastic. He looked fantastic on Sunday.
I was saying on the last player ratings me and Oscar did, I think it was Leeds that I was listening to, and they were saying something along the lines of they actually think Luke Ayling in his prime is better than Christensen, and I totally disagree.
I think it's a wonderful signing, and
I think
that's a
be one of the
harsh being able to pull those out. And I think Ayling will be a centre back. We talked earlier about Cresswell being let go.
Yeah,
I think Ayling's the centre back.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more, mate. I think the only minutes Ayling gets this season, unless Rasmus gets injured, is going to be at centre back because he'll have to fill in because Llorente and Koch are both made of glass. That's where we're going to move on to the interesting one. Who is your starting centre back pairing, Dad?
I think it's easy, this one, and it is Llorente and it's Koch. I think that's simple.
That's who you choose.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, easy.
Chris,
Gotta be.
Who's your starting centre back pairing?
Well, I think for tomorrow that's going to be the pairing.
Yeah, but if you can pick absolutely anyone, everyone is fully fit.
Yeah, so I think if everyone's fit, I'll drop Llorente and Stroik comes in.
Right, but you wouldn't put Cooper in?
Probably not, just for the thinking about longer term. But
Llorente, I've got to say, really impressed me at the back end of last season. Last couple.
Okay.
And look, when I say that, just as a team player, I thought those last 3 games, I went, okay, I think Jesse might get to this lad in a way that Bielsa couldn't.
Well, look, I hope this is the season where players like Rodrigo, Llorente, and Firpo really turn my opinion around. But at the moment, I'm not there. Apparently,
I think centre back. That's what we've got a bit of a problem because we've got 4 players. You mentioned Liam Cooper there. We've got 4 players who you could debate should be playing, and if you throw Cresswell into the mix as well, no one knows who our best 2 are. I mean, I don't mind Cresswell going out on loan because I don't think he was ever going to play every game, rightly or wrongly. But so I would probably rather him play in the minutes, come back a hell of a better player next year. Yeah. But no one knows who our starting 2 are.
I agree. I would have liked to have seen him be able to get the minutes, but because for me, he should be.
The only thing I say against that is I'm Leeds selfish, and I get let's look forward to next season with Cresswell, but I want it now. I want someone like that in my squad now.
Yeah, I'm the same. For me, it was about the pecking order. I think he should be further up it than he is. I think he should be further up that pecking order than both Llorente and Koch. I'll be honest. I'm not saying start him every single game of the season, but I don't think he should be as far down the pecking order as it is. For me, the 2 centre backs, I would start Cooper always. Is the captain, and I think he's the best defender we have at the club. For me, against Cagliari, the only thing that went wrong, we are going to be playing a high line. And when we are going to be playing a high line, don't get me wrong, Cooper's not got any more pace than either of them 2 either, but he's got the positional sense. He's got leadership. I genuinely think we need his presence in that team with the way that we're going to defend this season. And obviously,
that Phil. So we got done totally by pace, right?
Yeah, it's the high line.
See it. I just couldn't see that from where I was in the cop.
Yeah,
I went, wow, we just got torn apart,
mate. We were 3-0 up, and within 5 minutes, we could have easily been 3-3. It was Cardiff all over again. But
everyone in the cop thought it was 3-1.
Yeah,
because they didn't notice the first goal. No, it's honestly no one noticed the first goal. I can't remember if it was because England had just won in the Euros, but it literally no one saw it. It was so quick.
They were both very similar goals. They literally just one ball in behind, and there's a bit of pace. And if you get a bit of pace in behind Cooper and Koch, or Llorente and Koch as it was the other day, then realistically for me, we are going to get done for pace. But if you have Cooper in that line, it's not as high because he actually uses his fucking brain and goes, well, we're going to get done for pace here, lads. We drop off, or he mans that line a bit better. And for me, obviously, I know we're going to come to the left-back slot, but at the moment, we haven't signed another left-back. So I'm obviously not putting Firpo in my team. For me, the strongest left-back at the club at the moment is either Yelda or Pascal Struijk. So I'm going to start Struijk at left-back. Yeah, but Stuart Dallas isn't fit and isn't going to be fit anytime soon.
I know, but I thought you were saying if they're not fit enough. I mean, it's Struijk. You're right. Not fit.
I think yes. If
they're all fit, Stuart Dallas is the best left back in the club.
Yeah, no, I do agree on that one. I think with Dallas, it is just a case of he's so far away from fitness that I find it unrealistic to even talk about him. Whereas, but yeah, I do take your point. Maybe if he was fully fit, I would pick him over Pascal. But at the moment, for me, I'd put Pascal left back, Cooper left centre back, and I'd go Koch right centre back.
If we're writing off Dallas, then I'm Struijk. That is what I was kind of thinking, was he will be our left back option, but you know he will push Llorente. I think Llorente Koch might surprise us.
Yeah, I think I'll take your point there. Fully fit. Are you going Dallas then left back?
I am, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, I hadn't considered it before because I've probably written him off. Like you say, till Christmas. But I think based on the system we're going to play, I'd have to go with Firpo, because we've got no one else. We've got no one else who can attack, and we've got better defenders, but we've got no one that can play the role.
Oh, right, I'm just going to move on.
Struijk is the best left back outside.
I'll get him demonetized if we talk about Firpo. So let's go to CDM.
You've seen Pascal when he's crossing the ball. It's not going to work. Him bombing out on the left. And
I thought he had a really good second half. Against Cagliari.
Only because he had Harrison there, and they were popping it about between themselves because they were awful at right side of midfield and defence. So I get what Chris is saying there.
Yeah. Who have you both got at CDMs? I'm assuming we're all basically
going to, right? Yeah.
We're all settled on the partnership already of Adams and Rocker, yeah?
Yeah, that's all we got, yeah.
Nobody putting Forshaw in, nobody wanting to throw Click in, Sam Greenwood.
I prefer Forshaw to Rocker.
Right. Are you just saying that to be a little bit out there?
Nope. I think Forshaw was brilliant when he came back last year, and I think it's forgotten because he got injured again so quickly.
Yeah,
I think Forshaw. Rocker loves a whip of a ball outside. It was lovely watching him take the mick out of Calgary on Sunday. It was beautiful watching him. Went, wow, that's great. But Adams was running around that lad like there was no tomorrow. Whereas
for me, I'm the same. I prefer Adams.
I'd prefer Forshaw there next to Adams.
I would still start the new pair of Adams and Rocker, but for me, I'm more sold on Adams so far than I am Rocker. Yeah. So fully fit. Who's your right winger, Dad?
You know what? This is why I went for the Rodrigo prediction earlier, scoring more goals. This new Sinisterra, I don't know anything about him, man. I've seen the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen him play, so I've got to go Aronson.
Okay.
That's where he goes.
Chris, right wing.
I'm the same, yeah. I think Sinisterra, I'm hoping he's going to make our best team because we kind of need him to, but haven't seen anything about him, so I can't claim he is going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put it in there for everybody else anyway, and I do take the question that you're putting in there, Simon. Do we play a right winger? Yes, in a nutshell, yes, we do. The system just shifts across from one side to the other.
Doesn't it? It does. We are in a team, aren't we?
It's not as narrow as people are going to make out. We obviously were both there at the game the other day. Chris, obviously you weren't, but Harrison was hugging the touchline the vast majority of the game. Aronson was kind of hugging the touchline when he needed to. It's the only reason they are wide is because the system has slowly pushed across to the other side. So yes, their pre-setting is to be more narrow, but they will very much be wide players. So for me, Sinisterra, I would actually start on the left, and I think I could see Jack Harrison perhaps starting on the right. I think that might happen a bit this
Is
season.
it all about cutting in with Marsh, Phil?
Well, yeah, because it's all about being narrow. There isn't really meant to be too much width with the system.
Did we change the pitch? Did we change the pitch? I saw. I saw. Who was it? Who said? God.
They might have made it more narrow.
Gary from Talking Shut was in, and he tweeted out, "Love what they've done with the pitch. They've shortened. They've like got the width in."
I was upset with Phil Hay, wasn't I? So I wouldn't be able.
You were too busy looking at Phil Hay. You were too busy looking at Phil Hay.
I was busy sending fucking selfies of me and Phil Hay while he's trying to do his job. But yeah, apparently it's more narrow. You're not the only one that's saying it. So we've got different votes, but it's somewhere between like Aronson and Sinisterra on the right. Are we all going Harrison on the left?
He looked outstanding on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the way he looked at the crowd at the end. It looked like very much a goodbye.
No, behave. He's not going anywhere. I mean, Rads has said today as well they won't sell him.
That face and the clap, the golf. You've done a good putt clap.
They won't sell him. Rads has said it today. They will not sell him.
I tell you what, though, if someone says 44 million for him, and I'm like looking at it going, actually, I might. I might. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think you can sell him, Rafinha, and Calvin in one window. I just don't think it's a good idea.
Oh, God, it's like cutting out the flair totally, isn't it? But
yeah.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd start him left wing every game, but
yeah,
I kind of agree. If you got a big bid, you probably would sell him. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but it'd be hard to turn that down.
But nobody has got Dan James starting on either wing now.
Only when Harrison goes.
Chris.
No, I think Dan James would be great coming off the bench, and
yeah.
If I mean, last season he was playing up front, so you can't really judge him on that. If you put him on the wing, he's going to have a hell of a better season, and maybe he will be a starter. But
I don't see him starting many games, to be honest. I don't see him getting many minutes at all. But I like him. I think it's going to go a different way this season. So who have we got at 10? Chris, who's your 10?
So I've gone for Joffrey as the number 10.
Tasty, I like that. I imagine it's more of as a second striker than an out-and-out 10, though, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Right there, Bamford. And yeah, I don't think you can leave him out. He's too good to be an impact sub for too much longer.
I do agree, but we'll come to that. Dad, who's your 10? Rodrigo.
My heart says that it's Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Rodrigo looked wonderful on Sunday.
Yeah. No, I can't disagree. I still think there was moments where he did his usual Rodrigo thing and twatted one into the cop for no reason.
Yeah. But at the same time, Phil, I'm totally with that.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, but there was just far more brilliant Rodrigo. And, with Rafinha not being there, it's time to stand up, to quote Eminem.
Fair enough. So obviously I went Harrison and Sinisterra on the wing, so I've got Aronson as 10. And obviously but for me,
you're buying into a Colombian boy, right? You're there, right?
I quite like him.
How are you across the line? Have you seen a lot more of him than obviously me and Chris have?
Only in terms of watching the Conference League last year and the Europa League. I've only really seen highlights. I've not sat and watched 90 minutes, but I have seen him play quite a few times. And obviously the games that I was watching him in, he had a very good campaign in the Conference League in particular, and ended up, obviously, they got to the final, they lost, but he was a massive part of what they did.
I only saw the YouTube montage. I mean, maybe it was the wrong one to watch, but like, do you know when you see these montages on YouTube and then like they show you all these brilliant things, but then they start repeating the brilliant things at the end of the montage? I went, hang on a minute. He obviously hasn't done that many great things. And it maybe just been the one I saw, but I was like, this guy looks amazing. This is brilliant. And then after 2 minutes, I went, hang on a minute, you played this at the start. Like, what's going on? Like,
you know when you've seen exciting clips of Somerville doing bits for the under-23s?
Yeah.
He's just an older version of Somerville for me. He's just a really exciting, tricky winger, and I think he's
That's
done
what
it.
Rafinha was, though, right?
Exactly. I think he's between him and Aronson, they're basically both the Rafinha. What we've done is we've got Calvin Phillips has gone, and they've split Calvin Phillips in two, and they've got the ideal replacements for Calvin Phillips in my book. They are both a perfect half each. Rocker's got the passing range of Calvin Phillips, and
you don't replace Calvin Phillips,
but he doesn't have all the other stuff. Adams has got all the other stuff, and the same with the other two. I think Aronson has got the.
You've got Moneybally. You've got Moneybally there. You
haven't got a choice though, because the players were going to go. The two players were always going to go. We were always going to get money for them. You're a
player down. You're a player down straight away. You're a player down because you've got one. Like I get what you're saying about Rocker doing the whip.
Yeah,
and you've got the guy who's running around. You're a player down straight away.
Yeah. End of the day, though, if Calvin would have stayed this season, I can guarantee you he wouldn't have had a good season. He wouldn't have ended up getting in the World Cup squad, and we wouldn't have ended up.
Hey, what? Hang on a minute. What the hell?
We would not have ended up getting. We would not have got
an hour and a half, and now you're dropping this banger in here.
I've said it before numerous times, mate. If he would have stayed in this team does not suit him. We would have ruined him this season, and we wouldn't have got 45 quid.
How's that
to sell Calvin? This was
how would Calvin not be good in this team? I don't get that.
I'm not saying Calvin wouldn't be good in this team. We aren't playing to his strengths. We would have given him a bad season. And this year is not the time for him to have a bad season if he wants to go to a World Cup.
I don't get that.
If he would have stayed this season, we wouldn't get 45 million quid for him next summer. I can guarantee you that.
Surely this season, and apologies to take it down a Calvin Phillips cul-de-sac, but surely the way he would be playing under Marsh this season would be exactly the way like Southgate wants him to play. No, and how we play him.
Completely different systems. And just pointing out, this is not me at all saying all of a sudden Calvin is crap. I think Calvin Phillips is a world-class footballer.
Oh, absolutely.
But Calvin Phillips for Leeds United suited the Marcelo Bielsa way of playing. He was the perfect single pivot. You saw when he came back last season, he didn't suit Marsh's system. He didn't suit Marsh's way of playing. If you look at Calvin Phillips' strength, it's that ball out to a winger. If you're playing the penis formation and you don't have any wingers, where's that ball? So I'm sorry, I don't think this system, I don't think this manager, and I don't think this team.
We're playing with wingers. We're playing with wingers this year.
But we're not playing with out-and-out width with a single pivot. It's very different. The shape is so different.
It is different.
Everything is coming inside. It's not playing with width. If you're looking to get Jack Harrison to a corner flag and keep the ball in, get a ball in, that's the right way to play it. Get Calvin to do that. But if you're trying to get an incisive ball from a CDM to a striker on the floor, that is not Calvin's strength. That's Mark Rocker's strength. That's why we've got the two central defensive midfielders that suit this system.
Come on.
Mate, I will argue this with you all night.
Versus Philip. Come on. Right. I think we should do a poll. Seriously.
Do a poll. I don't know how to do one, but Calvin Phillips does not suit this team.
Calvin Phillips would not suit this team versus me saying Everton will end up 10th and 15th.
Yours is far more outrageous.
I don't know.
Far more outrageous.
I reckon. Anyway, we should move on.
We move on. We haven't done Wolves. We need to do Wolves. So, right. Wolves. First of all, Jimenez was their top scorer and top assister last season. He scored 10 goals in 2 seasons in the Premier League. I don't know how, but they don't score goals. Jimenez is injured. Adama Traore is injured. Nelson Semedo is injured.
Okay.
There's even a chance that their first choice goalkeeper may also be injured. I know we've got a lot of injuries as well, but for me, they are a shithousing team. That's all they do. They've changed their system. They're not playing this daft 3 at the back. Connor Cody's been booted out and hasn't played much in pre-season. They're playing 4 at the back now, which is quite
Jesse said that today, didn't he? Jesse said that today.
It's going to be an interesting game, but weirdly enough, despite how pessimistic I usually am, I'm feeling quite confident about this game tomorrow because I don't really think a great deal of Wolves. I know I'm going to assume you've both done some sort of prep. Chris, what do you think of Wolves in terms? I'll go to Chris first, and Dad, you could just copy him. Chris, you've done some sort of prep for this. What do you think of Wolves, and do you think we need to be worried about anything?
Are we playing Wolves tomorrow?
An hour and a half later.
Yeah, no, I don't think they progressed from last season. I haven't followed all of their transfers, but I don't think they've really improved. So I wouldn't expect them to be a major threat this season.
They've signed one player, Nathan Collins.
Yeah, from Burnley, yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, I think when you always play Wolves, you've got to score first. If you don't score first, like you say, they're going to be passing the ball around. They'll be rolling around on the floor. They'll be wasting time. I think it's going to be tight. But
save your score prediction for the end. We'll get
save
to
the
that.
score prediction for the end.
Yeah. Don't blow that yet.
No.
But you think it's going to be a tight game?
I think it's going to be a tight game. But yeah, I think we'll come out on top.
Yeah. Dad, copy and paste.
No. And this really does sound like copy and paste, but I did look into this because I am going to have to find out what Wolves have done in this pre-season, and it was really this opinion's really influenced by Jesse Marsh, what he came out and said in his press conference. To be quite honest, and I think the key here is all those injuries have got, and they've all of a sudden gone to a back four.
Yeah,
that's a gift, right? That has got to be, because their whole structure is based on back three.
Yeah.
Which in all fairness, it is shithousery, but it's brilliantly shithousery. And they've all of a sudden gone, we're not going to do that. We're going to go back four. And there's part of me that goes, is Jesse playing mind games here, where he's going, ooh, they played back four, and because he actually went, they look really good at back four. And he's always going, please play back four. Just play the back four system I've seen you play.
Have you seen their results for pre-season? I mean, I know it's pre-season and you don't put too much weight on it, but they've had a bad pre-season, man. We've had it good.
But, they're back for. I look at it like we only lost 1-0 to Villa in pre-season, right? And that was a bit of a feisty game by all accounts, as we all know. And, it was a real challenge for us. And I actually walked away from that going, God, I really wish we'd maybe have had more possession and everything. But they are just so much more advanced than us. But I think Villa are better. They're better than Wolves.
Yeah, definitely.
This for me, guys, is a must-win tomorrow. And I know you're going, oh, it's first game of the season. It's a must-win. Because... No, look what happens once we get
them Magnus have you had?
middle of September. It goes crazy.
Marsh is gone. Middle of September, he's gone.
Remember what I said? Marsh goes in March. Once it gets past September, it's really difficult. We've got to get the 3 points.
See, are you confident we will though? That's a question. I don't give me your score.
I'm with Chris. I think it'll be tight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Look, I agree very much.
The back four's key to getting that.
See, that 3-4-3 that they played has been with them since the championship, and it's been brilliant. For me, it's a strange time to change it. It's his second season in charge. It's a weird one, but for me, they've got injuries to massive players. I think realistically, our starting lineup looks a lot stronger than theirs, regardless of how many injuries both sides have. We're at home advantage, and for me, I think the result from last week in the preseason game against Cagliari makes a big impact on these players going into a season with confidence. They look really confident in the system that they've actually had time to get used to now. I think that they've adapted really well. For me, I do see it being like you guys said. If Wolves do score the first goal, then they will shithouse their way to either a 1-0 win or a 90th minute penalty, sort of rescuing it for us, jobby again. But I think if we do score first, I can see it being a comfortable game for us, because I don't think they've got a lot to offer going forward. The only teams that scored less goals than them three last season, the only teams that scored less than Wolves last season all got relegated. Wolves scored the least goals of any team that stayed up. They are a terrible fucking attacking team. They don't try and win football matches. They are the new Burnley. That's what they are. They're a shit out.
We've got to beat them. That's why we've got to beat them tomorrow.
So for me, let's go on to your score predictions. Guys, in the comments, get your scores in, because we've already gone over an hour and a half here. We can't stay on all night. But
I'm for it. Let's go all the way.
I'm going to go first. I'm going 2-0 to Leeds, and I think I'm going to be nice. I'm going to say Bamford and Rodrigo to continue the goal-scoring feats from last week. Dad, what's your prediction for tomorrow?
Lad was very close to you, Phil. He made sure, like, even though he's off partying, meeting the future Mrs. Ladd, he went to 2-1 Leeds, and he said Rodrigo and Bamford.
Yeah.
I think, and I think me and Chris might be spot on here. I'm going 1-0 Leeds.
See, there's a lot of people here that, in the comments as well as us, saying Leeds win. That we've got a 5-1.
John 5-1. I bet that's limbs.
I'd take a 5-1. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people confident that we're going to win this. Chris, what do you think?
We've got to win it.
I think we'll win. I'm going to go 2-1. I think we'll concede. I hope we get 2 goals first, and then maybe they'll peg us back, and it'll be a bit nervy towards the end. But yeah, I think 3 points.
Yeah, well, that is a positive start to the season. You've got a full panel of guests and me saying we are going to win tomorrow. So that's a really good start to the season, I think. We've come a long way in an hour and a half. Guys, tomorrow, obviously, none of us managed to get tickets because of the bullshit ticketing system. Chris, where are you watching the game, mate?
I'll probably watch it from home tomorrow, unfortunately.
On a perfectly legal stream, I hope.
Perfectly legal stream, absolutely.
And Dad, another perfectly legal stream for you, my friend.
If anybody wants to share a perfectly legal stream, that's really hard to say after all these Magners. I'm in. But you know, has anyone else seen Soccer Saturday last week? And they've changed all the jingles to it and everything. It's awful. Like it's like you watch it, it's a horrific experience. You know, you're looking for the jingles from Soccer Saturday, and it's like, no, where's that gone? But yeah, it's going to be Soccer Saturday legally. But if anyone wants to share a really legal stream, then I'm in.
I could if you really want me to.
I really want you to. But,
I could lose my job for it, but
no, don't lose your job for it. Sat that. I watch Soccer Saturday. No one's doing it.
As you guys know, I will be watching it through the one and only perfectly legal stream because I work for Opta, so I get it for free. So I'm not smug. I'm not smug at all. But yeah, I'll be watching it at home. I'm very much hopeful that we're going to have a good day and it's going to be the first 3 points of a much less stressful season. So look, I'm hoping to see both of you guys quite a bit this season, not just on the big match preview player ratings, but also down at Ellen Road. And guys, thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a long one. It's been a funny one. We're back with a bang. Plenty more to come on the channel over the weekend. Obviously, I think, fingers crossed, touch wood, we should have a watch along for you tomorrow. But if not, there's definitely going to be player ratings. And then obviously plenty of content next week as we build up towards Southampton as well. But I'm sure, regardless of what the result will be tomorrow, you will probably get Jack and Chris and Oscar not being able to resist the temptation of telling you how they feel about this game. So the season is back. All these TV is back. Chris, Lad and Dad. I know Lad unfortunately can't be with us, but send him our love. Thank you for joining us, guys. Thank you for your time. I do appreciate it. We can do the smile and wave. Thank you for joining us, guys. If you haven't already, smash the like and subscribe to the channel, all that shit. But we will see you again very soon.